welcome to this week's evening yoga practice. Today what we're going to do is concentrate on trying to get rid of the tension that accumulates throughout the day. So if you spend a lot of time in a seated position or bending over, whether you're working at a desk, or even if it's just a hobby where you're leaning forward or cooking, or also if you do a lot of sport and you've got the tendency to lean into the sport, so we've got tight glutes, tight lower back and a tightness into the shoulders. We're going to concentrate on these areas to try and bring that softness into the body, ready to look at what the causes are of the tightness, but also allow us to then relax at the end of the day. So let's first of all find a comfortable position. So when we talk about comfortable position, we're trying to bring our alignment back into the spine, sending the tailbone down so we stop this rounding into the back. So you feel that you're sat on your sit bones and the tailbone like a triangle, rather than rocking back into the sit bone, condensing down into the stomach and rounding into the back and the shoulders drop down. So we're trying to find this position where we get this perfect alignment back into the spine. And then bringing the hands into a comfortable position, so comfortable for you. Now if your shoulder's very tight, bringing these arms with the palms faced up doesn't feel comfortable because you've got restricted movement into the shoulder blades. So just find a position that's comfortable for you. Could be palms into the lap, palms faced up, palms face down, whichever feels good. And then what we first thing want to do is bring our awareness into the breath. So the practice of yoga, we concentrate on allowing the breath to move the postures, not our desire to move the posture. So we want to slow the breath down, because if we're keeping the breath up into the chest, we're constantly activating that fight and flight mode in the body, increasing the adrenaline, increasing the cortisol. So we want to try and use everything we've got, whether the senses or the breath, to release that build-up of daily stress. So first of all, find a comfortable position. And then if we close our eyes, what we do is we shut off that external sense and allow us to start thinking more about what's going on in the body. And this might be the first time you've actually just listened to the body for a while, seeing how it feels today. Notice any tension in the shoulders, neck, front of the chest, the top 3 ribs are places where we hold a lot of tension. Muscles around the shoulders, front, sides, top. Think about the muscles underneath the shoulder blades. Do they feel tight and blocked in? Can we release them, let go? Or do we feel that when we move the shoulders, it's more this triangle movement of up, back and down? Just feel that softness trying to return to the body. And let's aid it with the breath. So let's take 4 nice deep inhales, not just in the chest, but see if we can bring that breath all the way down into the stomach. Don't rush the breath. Let the body expand. And if you have been very used to breathing into the chest, bringing the breath deeper, oxygenating the blood can often make you feel lightheaded. So be aware of that. What you're doing is reoxygenating the cells, reoxygenating the blood and letting it flow around the body. Just spend a few more breaths, soften this body. Start taking everything a little bit lower so it's not trapped up around the throat and the ribs. Breathing down into the stomach, allowing the stomach muscles to be soft, allowing fluidity into the ribs when we breathe in and out. The same into the back. Just simply sitting and breathing brings a huge difference to stress levels. Let's have 4 more, really concentrating on bringing that breath down into the body. One more nice deep inhale, softening, releasing. And then relax. And now finding a foundation for your posture. Just bring your hands onto your knees, ground down into the sit bones, finding a comfortable position that's going to allow us to move from side to side. But notice I'm not working like a pendulum. We want to move from side to side. So as I come in, stretching down this right side, this left shoulder drops down, the ears coming down towards the shoulder. Again, coming from side to side. Now your movement is going to depend on how much flexibility you've got into the rib cage and into the back. Just breathing softly, allowing the body to gently unfold, rocking from side to side. We're going to do 4 either side, so closing our eyes. We know we're doing 4 other sides, just concentrating on my voice rather than looking at the video. Bring your full awareness into the body, rocking, releasing, seeing how deep we can get into these muscles, into the ribs. So 2 more. And relaxing back to center. Now what we're going to do is create circular movements with the upper body. So we're coming round, forward, into the side, and then engage the pelvic floor muscles as we rock back. Because you'll notice we start using these band of muscles. Ground down into the pelvic floor muscles and round again. We're going to do 4 circular movements in one direction and 4 in the other direction. Remember, as we come back to activate those pelvic floor muscles. Rounding, get some movement into this torso. Rounding, and just remember that we're trying to find the edge of our movement and then the opposite direction. And then we want to soften that edge. So nothing is forced. As I come forward, I'm just going to reach the edge, just touching into that edge and then back round again. I protect my back, I engage the core muscles, the pelvic floor, and then I release softly as I come round, finding as much fluidity. Now notice if you've tightened up around the neck, soften that neck. Allow the whole of the body to be soft and release. Excellent. And now we're going to again get into these side muscles. And we're going to bring our hand down to the side, keep that arm nice and soft as we bring the other arm up and start getting this stretch down the side of the body, bending into the underneath arm and taking that arm all the way across. Then release, lifting up through the center, getting length through the spine, and then bring the hand back down, over, get a stretch, and then release and back up again. Now we're going to do 4 either side. So do it with your eyes closed and listen to my voice so you can really feel the depth of this posture. Just bringing the body up in that same movement, down and over. Gently working through with a fluidity. And over and up. 2 more either side. Down and up. And we're to work with the breath. We're trying to release the body, relax and get movement. A soft movement either side. And this time as we come over, we're going to hold the position. So taking it a little bit deeper. If you've got flexibility, then bring the bottom arm down to the forearm and allow that shoulder to lengthen all the way through. Here we're going to hold 3 breaths. Breathing and releasing. Nice deep breath. Letting go of tightness into the body. Breathing, releasing, and 1 more.
Breathing, give this nice stretch. And then to release this posture, first of all, take the arm out, bring your awareness onto the hand and push up from the hand. And then bring the body back, lifting up through the centre. Let's do the same on the other side. Bringing the hand down, allowing length. If you've got that little bit more flexibility, bring the body down onto the forearm and allow the arm to stretch all the way through to the side of the head. Notice the chest is coming forward, not rounding down. We want to get just into these side muscles. Here we're going to have 3 more breaths. Breathing. And releasing. And one more nice deep inhale. Give it a lovely stretch through the body. And then taking the arm up, pushing down with the hand, using the strength of the arms, bringing the hands back into Namaste. What we're going to do now is work into a seated cat-cow movement. So I'm going to come on sideways so you can see the movement much clearer. And here it's entirely up to you. If your legs are starting to ache, then give them a stretch out in front. It's not going to alter the position. Or alternatively, change the direction of the legs. So where you have the right leg in front, bring the right leg behind. Whatever moves the opposite for you. So again, what we're trying to do is get this length through the spine. And then we're going to round the body down. So I'm curling down, the navel's coming back towards the spine. Rounding down, relaxing the shoulders, bringing the chin down towards the chest, not by straining it, but by getting this length in the back of the body. And then we're going to bring the chest forward and the shoulder blades back in together. So we feel like these shoulder blades are coming in together behind, finding the chest. Now here what we're going to do is lift the chin up to get this stretch to the front of the throat here. And then release. Again, soft, rounding down. Breathing, keeping the body nice and set, soft. And notice as the elbows come out to the side, I'm getting this space between the shoulder blades. And then release, chest coming forward. And then lifting the chin up, getting the stretch into the front of the throat. And then let's have one more. Into our cat, rounding back into the seated position. Again, no strains, just this rounding into the back, allowing the stretch around all those lovely little supportive muscles of the back. And then one last cow as we bring the chest forward, the shoulder blades come in together, lifting up to the chin. And then releasing. And then we're going to rock the body forward, coming into our tabletop position. If you have sore knees, then use your block for your knees. And then what we're going to do is to release, again, release the back of the body. We're going to rock from side to side. But as we do that, we're going to draw up into the navel and over to the other side. So it's a movement, so we come up and over to the side. So we're using these back muscles up and to the side. Okay, so we'll do this 3 or 4 times, getting into the back. Relax the arms. The arms are straight, but we don't want them pushing down hard into the mat. Up and back. Up and back. And then tucking the toes under, coming up into your downward facing dog. And then gently walking your hands towards your feet and your feet towards your hands, coming into a forward bend with the knees bent. So sitting at a desk or driving gets this area really tight, and we want to relieve all the muscles, the glutes. So we're going to fold the arms over, drop the head down, and take 3 rounds of breath. Nice, deep, slow breaths. And then gently unfold the legs, bringing your cushion into a position to enable us to kneel down onto the right knee and take the left leg forward. And here what we're going to do is make sure we've got this back knee away enough so we can get the stretch into the front of the thigh. And I want us to just gently rock forward into the position and then back and straighten this front leg. Releasing into the lower back, into the glutes, into the hamstring, into this front thigh. Forward, into this hip flexor, making sure the knee doesn't come over the ankle, back, into the lower back, into the glutes, and into the hamstring, forward, and then again, down, getting this stretch down into this leg here, and back up again. One more time, we're going to hold this hamstring stretch a little bit more, getting into the position, and then release, stepping that left leg back into your downward facing dog, moving the position of the cushion, then bring your left knee down, aid that right leg through, coming up, so checking we've got this space. We want to make sure that the knee is behind the hips. So when we come into the position, we get this nice stretch down into the hip flexor, bringing the body forward, and then rocking the body back. You can bring your foot off the mat or keep your toes on the mat, entirely up to you. Rocking back, and then forward. Allowing the stretch as the body comes down, releasing shoulders, and back into the position, stretching, and then one more forward. Take some nice deep breaths, get this lovely stretch into that hip flexor, and one last one coming back into the hamstring. Get that nice stretch, breathing through, and then release, bringing the body back down onto your bottom, coming down onto the mat, onto your bottom here, and then we're gently just going to release the spine, take the knees out to the side and bring the body down into a version of a forward bend. And we're just allowing this length. So notice I don't want us to round down like this and drop down, but find some length through the spine, tailbone coming down towards the ground. Again, keep the breath nice and soft, soften into this position. And we're going to have 4 nice deep breaths here. And let me turn around to face you so you can see a little bit better. The legs out into a cobbler pose, slightly separated, taking hold of the soles of the feet and then gently dropping forward, keeping a length and a relaxation. So the key thing is relax these shoulders down, no tension. And 2 more breaths. And then relax. Then bringing the body back down onto the mat. We're going to come into bear cub pose. So bear cub pose is going to really help to release any tension into the inner thighs, into the lower back. So if you've got a really tight lower back, then hold on to the back of the thighs as you bring the head down in this position. If you've got that freedom and the bottom of the spine is right down onto the mat, you're not lifting the bottom off, then take hold of the soles of the feet. The soles of the feet coming up towards the ceiling. Relax the shoulders down. We're trying to find this length through the spine. And here we're going to have 6 nice deep breaths. Keep the body soft. Keep the bottom down onto the mat. And then gently relax. Allow the inner thighs. A gentle stretch. Softening the breath. Breathing. And releasing. Let's have 3 more nice deep, full inhales and soft, relaxing exhales. crossing the ankles over. Take the arms out to the side, just rocking from side to side, releasing into the lower back. And let's see if we can connect this with the breath. Breathing in as we bring the body up, and breathing out as we drop down a little bit to the side. Two more. And the last one, up and over to the side. And then bring the feet down onto the mat. Allow the legs to drop out to the side. Take the arms above your head, and notice then you get this nice natural arch that arrives in the lower back. That's exactly what we want. We want to release the front of the stomach here, this big psoas muscle around the solar plexus. Just releasing and closing our eyes. Taking some nice deep inhales. We have 4 deep inhales. Finding space and release into those stomach muscles. And then bring the body down into a comfortable position. Here we're going to do our meditation practice laying down. I want us to, first of all, find that comfortable position. So soften the body, walking the bottom down a little bit, letting go of the muscles into the lower back, taking some nice deep inhales, expanding into the chest, and then let the legs just flop out to the side. Think about the breath coming not just into the chest, not just into the diaphragm or the stomach, but circulating down the whole of the body. Breathing in, oxygenating that blood, and as you breathe out, allow the legs to soften, to feel that sense of lightness. And then in our meditation practice here, I want us to just concentrate on our solar plexus. This point here at the top of the stomach, around the diaphragm, below the ribs. It's that place that tightens when you have a near miss, or when you're under a lot of stress. If you're under subtle stress, it's a gentle tightening that often you don't notice, but your body tends to draw down into itself, causing more tightness into the shoulders and the upper back. So we're going to bring our full awareness to that area. Now imagine that you're laying in your favourite place. It can be either laying in bed, laying in the garden, in a forest, on the beach, wherever it is, no one's going to disturb you. And just above you, in the sky, is this beautiful white, bright light. This shining down pure energy, a lightness, and it's coming right down to your solar plexus. A soft, warm energy. And every time we breathe in that area, we expand and we draw a little bit more of this wonderful bright light down into that solar plexus. And every time we breathe out, we spread that beautiful, clear, cleansing white light around the body. Each time getting further down into the stomach, the hips, the legs, the chest, the arms, the neck. With each breath, getting deeper, brighter, and more space and energy, burning away any darkness and tension, creating this wonderful circling vortex of white energy. We're going to do this for 8 breaths. Don't worry about counting. I'll tell you when we're nearly finished. Take a nice deep inhale. Breathing in, and that light is getting bigger and bigger. Cleansing, nourishing, and energizing. Remember to take that pause at the end of the inhale before you go into the exhale, and again at the end of the exhale before you go into the inhale. Let's have 4 more deep connected breaths, cleansing, drawing that beautiful white light down into the body. Let's have 2 more deep connected breaths. And then just allow the breath to come back to its normal state. Soft, relaxing. And resting here as long as you want, just enjoying the ebb and flow of that breath, oxygenating and cleansing.